This video is graded
informational.
Hello YouTube, Ralathar Renaris here, issuing a buyer beware warning for Diablo 3. Now, I want to preface this by saying, I'm still interested in the game, but the problems are too crippling right now for me to buy it. I'm not talking about server issues. I'm assuming that server woes, though inexcusable, Blizzard should have been better on top of it, are going to be temporary. No. Let's get to the real meat of the issue. Push comes to shove. I'm going to make an opinion very clear on this, and then I will go into others, so if you discount this opinion, please still listen. A single-player game should never require constant internet access to play. Let me repeat myself. A single-player game should never require constant internet access to play. There should always be some workaround, some option somewhere, for you to play single player on your own. If you want us to log in once or twice or something and verify it, fine. But there is no reason for a single player game to require constant internet access. Alright, now that we've got my own personal, very strong opinion out of the way, let's go to the rest of it. Character specialization has been drastically simplified. You no longer have skill trees. You no longer have attribute point distribution. All of these things are gained automatically leveling up. And so the chances of your character being specialized or being any different than someone else's are rather small. Also, the ability for you to specialize your character for playstyle and personal tastes have been drastically reduced as well. Now, I'm not going to say this for sure, I'm going to say keep watch. Again, throughout this entire video, I urge you not to buy, I urge you not to stay away from. I urge you only to wait, think, and be smart about your purchase. There are too many things up in the air right now. Character specialization right now seems to be very limited, very simplified, and this is agreed from all sides, people that support the game and people that do not. Likewise, the story has been lampooned as anything from cheesy to downright bad to direct copies of the original game, just renamed, more or less. And this has been agreed on by both sides of the field as well. Sound has generally received very good scores. Graphics have, however, been lampooned by both sides. Some find them crisp and acceptable, but admittedly not great by any means. Many are largely disappointed by the fact that graphics of this lesser magnitude being released in this day and age. There just doesn't have the pop, the crispness, and the detail that you would expect. That being said, I'm not big on graphics myself. Gameplay is where it's at for me. Continuing on. Single player only. Oh wait, I covered that. That's me inserting my opinion again. Not an accident. Let's continue. In-game player shop. What does this mean? It means that you can sell items for money online. Unsurprisingly, this was done to eliminate duping and scamming for the most part. Unfortunately, I think it might cause problems of its own. Bear with me, this is not a negative or a positive, this is a be careful. It's only a matter of time until people game the system, but let's exclude that for a minute. Let's assume that you can sell powerful items, i.e. items actually worth buying for real-world money, on the shop. What do you think is going to happen to all powerful items not immediately useful to someone? They're going to go on the shop for money if they're hard to get. In theory, this sounds like it would be a beneficial thing, because you could find these powerful items and then sell them for money. However, This is very much a microtransaction strategy, similar to many other games such as League of Legends. Initially, the risk seems very small. However, all they need to do is get you to take a few nibbles. And it isn't until the end of the month that you've realized that you spent $50. This happens to even the most disciplined people. I have been burnt by it myself because, hey, I am not perfect. In League of Legends, I had a great deal of fun with that game, and my reasons for leaving the game were not the microtransaction system. Nonetheless, I came to realize that over time, my incidental purchases of additional characters would add up to more than a subscription fee a month, and that was not acceptable to me. So I decided that that was one of my reasons for quitting. Likewise, in a very gear-based game such as Diablo, what do you think the odds are that you will be tempted to buy that next new shiny item, after which there is only another new shiny item to get, and then another, and another, and another? Now, there's two sides to this. A, you don't have the time to spend that much time just grinding for items. Cool, if your time is worth the money spent, that's fine. The other side of it, however, is the downside. I buy the items, I hit the cap more quickly, I get bored, I move on more quickly. Now, what am I saying with this game right now? My overall impression. I haven't played it. I'm going to be honest. I am not spending the money on a single-player game that I cannot play single-player unless I have an internet connection. I am not spending the money when, personally, character customization is very important to me. And I am not spending the money to get a rehash of Diablo 2. Honestly, a lot of the things that were good in Diablo 2 might still seem good now, but gameplay and game features have progressed majorly since then. And so nostalgia will lose its charm after a little while. Give it a little time, evaluate carefully, and make your decision. You don't want to buy based on nostalgia for $50 or $60. What might end up being a 1 or 2 month game for you that you then find out wears thin more quickly than you expected. My personal buying point right now, money-wise, is never. This is not based on game quality, this is based on principle. As long as it is a single-player game that you have to maintain an active internet connection to, then I will not purchase it. It is a principle. I will not deliver money into the hands of people with that strategy. However, if that was removed from the game, I would gladly purchase it for about $30 to $40. I do not believe it is worth $60, however. That seems a bit excessive. Another thing that people might be forgetting, unlike the original Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, there are quite a bit of competitors out there right now. Games like Titan's Quest and Torchlight, past Exile's in development right now. And I believe I even saw a game called Raw. Now, I can vouch for Titan's Quest being a very solid and fun playthrough, and worth the money to buy. Torchlight is generally favorably reviewed, and Torchlight 2 is coming out in the foreseeable near future. I also want to stress to you that times have changed a bit more. Online role-playing games did not used to be of such prevalence. Now we have other options, whether you're your generic WoW player, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm glad to hear that y'all are finally getting serverless servers. It's been something sorely needed. EverQuest, City of Heroes, or something upcoming and new such as Guild Wars 2, which I am personally very fond of, and really treads on that line between breaking MMORPG and action-style gameplay. It's still MMORPG, but it's a lot more actiony than expected, which is very good and fun. So, That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm not saying buy it. I'm saying evaluate your choice carefully. Well, that's it. Ralithar Renaris signing out. Let me know how you feel about the video. I know I'm going to get a lot of trolling, but hey. I mean, I'm speaking out against Blizzard and Diablo. Would I expect anything less than to be trounced by fanboys?